What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated lightweight star title contender, Frank the Ghost Martin, who has 18 wins, no losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, and is a southpaw. He finally responds back to Top Rank, legendary promoter, CEO, Bob Arum, ESPN, and more importantly, undefeated Olympic silver medalist, two-division world champion, former unified super featherweight WBC, WBO world champion, now lightweight superstar title contender, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is 20 wins, no loss and no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 26 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. So he's 2 years younger than Frank Martin, same height, same arm reach, and they both southpaws. Shakur Stevenson has a much deeper amateur pedigree, as Frank Martin, he started boxing when he was 18 years of age. The World Boxing Council, better known as the WBC, President Mauricio Suleiman, board of 32 members, they ordered Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson to face off against one another and to enter a purse bid if they couldn't come to an agreement, okay? Both sides did not want to allow this to go to purse bid, because if they allow it to go to a purse bid, then any and everybody can bid on this fight. We saw this go astray for Top Rank in the past. Top Rank didn't want to allow this to happen. Top Rank in the past had an opportunity where one of their fighters, now former unified lightweight world champion, now the WBO junior welterweight world champion, two-division world champion, superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez. After Teofimo Lopez beat Vasil Lomachenko, he went into a purse bid with his IBF mandatory challenger in George Kambosos Jr. George Kambosos Jr. out of Australia was the IBF mandatory challenger. Well, Top Rank, they bid $2.3 million for the George Kambosos Teofimo fight. They didn't want that fight, okay? George Kambosos was promoted by legendary promoter Lou DiBella, and he didn't have a network in which to showcase his talents, because Lou DiBella parted ways with the PBC and Showtime. So they bid 2.3 for this fight. Bob Arum was on record saying that he didn't have much interest in making a fight between Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos Jr. Said nobody was going to want to watch the fight. So they low bid 2.3. Well, shockingly, Matchroom CEO promoter Eddie Hearn came in and he bid 3.2. So he outbid Bob Arum. But then out of nowhere came Triller, who bid a whopping $5 million for the fight. Triller came out of nowhere and outbid Top Rank and Matchroom, and didn't know how to handle the fight. And it went by the wayside, and it got dragged on, and eventually Triller backed out, and then it went to the next highest bidder, which was Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Long story short, Top Rank is trying to avoid that happening in the future. Teofimo Lopez went on to lose to Kambosos, then lose to Devin Haney, and they lost control of the belts. So with that said, they don't want that to reoccur. So when the WBC ordered this, ironically enough, Devin Haney beat George Kambosos to become the undisputed lightweight champion, okay? And now he has been stripped of his WBC title as he's moving up to junior welterweight to challenge two-time junior welterweight world champion, the reigning WBC junior welterweight champion, Regis Prograis. So I need y'all to follow this, okay? It's important to follow what I'm telling you guys right now, okay? So with that said, Devin Haney vacated the WBC title. or stripped of it, however you so choose to look at it. He doesn't hold it anymore. So Lomachenko's number one in the WBC rankings. He's saying he's semi-retired. Number 2 is Shakur Stevenson. And now number 3 is Frank Martin. So they ordered Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. To avoid this going to a purse bid, apparently, it was reported that both sides came to an agreement by the WBC. They no longer needed a purse bid, which was scheduled for September 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And then yesterday, we got wind and heard that both sides agreed, and the fight was going to take place November 16th, Las Vegas, Nevada. And now we got informed that Frank Martin and his team informed Top Rank and Shakur's team they're no longer interested in making a fight happen for the vacant WBC title. That was reportedly going to see Frank Martin get a guaranteed purse of $1 million, and that Frank Martin essentially wasn't interested. So Shakur Stevenson, Top Rank, they put out statements. Shakur Stevenson obviously said Frank Martin is ducking. Top Rank said Shakur Stevenson is the most avoided man in boxing. They stated that, it's unfortunate. They were attempting to make this fight happen, so on and so forth. Now, Frank Martin, it took him a day to respond, but he says, I'm not ducking anything. And now he says, I'll fight any of you dudes at 135. Then he goes on to say he never received a contract. And now he's saying, send the contract and I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. So now somebody's not telling the truth. Now I have to look at it from this standpoint and say this. Frank Martin had to be aware that there was an agreement in place because the WBC removed the purse bid off the table. And the only way they can remove a purse bid off the table if they have confirmation from both sides that they have an agreement in place and the purse bid is no longer needed, which means Frank Martin and his team had to agree to the terms. And then it was reported that PBC, Al Heyman, have agreed to allow Frank Martin to fight on Showtime Frank Martin to fight on ESPN, and it be a Top Rank card. Frank Martin is with Man Down Promotions, Errol Spence's promotional company. He's saying that he's never received a contract. So is this a case where now Top Rank is saying that his team informed them that he wasn't interested? Is this a case where Frank Martin's team did not inform him that they were informing Top Rank that they weren't interested before Top Rank got the opportunity to officially sit down and send Frank Martin a contract to be signed? So two things can be true. Frank Martin may not have received the official contract, but they have a verbal agreement in place that they didn't need the purse bid. Okay? Which again, his side would have had to confirm that this is something, the direction that they're going in, and there's still negotiations to be had. He probably didn't receive the official contract with everything in writing for him to sign to make it 1000% official. But there was an agreement in place working towards it, hence the reason why the board of 32 members and Mauricio Suleiman pulled the purse bid off the table. Now, is it a possibility that Frank Martin's team looked everything over and said this is not a good deal and informed Top Rank that they weren't interested before notifying Frank Martin? That's a strong possibility. And now Frank Martin is getting wind of it and he's like, wait a minute, I didn't duck anybody and I didn't receive a contract, because possibly the rough draft contract that was sent to his team wasn't something they was on board with. So they informed Top Rank that this is not something they want to do. And they sent back the contract and said, no, thank you, before informing him. And then Top Rank took to social media and Shakur, informing Shakur that he was pulling out. Strong possibility. Well, now here we are. With all that said, Frank Martin says that he'll fight anybody. He'll fight Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is saying that he's on record and he wants to fight Frank Martin. The WBC is on board with making this fight happen. So now it's up to Frank Martin to go to his team and tell him to make the fight happen. To make the fight happen. Unless there's something bigger on the table. Clearly, there's nothing bigger on the table, because if there was, Frank Martin would have said, I'm not ducking you. I got something bigger, a bigger fish to fry, where everybody's speculating it could be Gervonta Tank Davis. Right? So now at the end of the day, it all boils down to this. Now Frank Martin can call everybody bluff, and Shakur can call Frank Martin's bluff and send Frank Martin a contract. And when they send him a contract, and then Frank Martin has to call their bluff and sign the contract. Everybody can call everybody's bluff and make the fight happen. Period. Easy solution. Plain and simple. No need to go back and forth anymore. Plain and simple, easy solution. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. Go on. Peace.